Hi, this is Hans. Hope all is well. Just want to go over a few things that we ended up seeing on August 24th, 2016. We had a great time. I want to thank Fausto Perez for hosting this event. He did a fantastic job. Always great seeing him. We had another special guest, Robert Bingham, show up. You know, he's just fantastic. We saw probably anywhere from 30 to 40, 45 objects this day. It was so fantastic. You know, it just kind of occurred to me that what we do is not for everyone. Most people are very content with sitting behind their monitor watching videos. For those who take it one step farther, they go to lectures. They're perfectly happy listening to someone tell their stories about their UFO encounters. And some people are very happy to hide behind their computers and troll, spewing their unfactual opinions. I think that there are only about 10% of the people who are investigative enough to be willing to get up and go out and see things with their own eyes. These are the field researchers. Not only do we see an excessive amount of objects, but we see weird stuff like flybys and transformations. Anyway, if you're a UFO field researcher at heart, and you know who I'm talking to, you gotta come to one of our events. You have to see these things with your own eyes, and you have to see that these things are real. This first one was interesting because it looked like it's popped. I mean, you can actually see the insides of it, which is like a silver lining on the inside. But not only that, it looked like it also had something protruding out of the inside of it. Take a close look. You could see that something looks like it's protruding out of it. It's absolutely burst open, but yet is still crossing the sky. People have to think about the debunkers, and you know, how do you fake something like this? How could this be possible? Some people think that, you know, oh, this is just a glider. Well, a glider is intelligently controlled. You know, a glider without a controller will hit the dirt. For some reason, you know, if you take a close look, you'll notice that this thing is flat. This next one was a flyby that we ended up seeing upon review of the footage. The object we were following was a gold star-looking object. It was going through the power lines, and this thing showed up. These flybys are my favorites. Personally, I think this orb is staying in one position, but it's hard to tell because there's no point of reference. All you could tell from the camera was how fast the balloon was moving. This is not a totally unusual situation. I mean, a lot of times you'll see an orb with a plane flying right by it. Based on my experience, the orb doesn't have to be the one that's moving. So I just want to tell people that the wind is non-specific, okay? It is not specific. It's very broad, and it affects many things that are around it. The wind is wide and does not choose particular specific items to move around. There's no such thing as a straw air current. Here's a picture from Daniel Dunas of this object, captured by a DSLR camera with high resolution.
Right in the middle, right there.
Hey, it's a floating L. See? It's an L.
That stands for, oh, you just got a flyby.
So we ended up capturing another flyby by this object that looks like an L. John Graff, who was assisting me with this telescope, ended up seeing this one. I didn't end up seeing it, but he nailed this one. As you could see, this one spent a little bit more time crossing this object. Another incredible one, about the size of a softball. Here's another one that we ended up capturing. This one was very far away. I would say probably about 2 miles away. It's interesting that they stay close enough for us to see, but far enough to not see clearly. You know, I can't say the same thing about this next one. This one flew over our heads probably about 200 to 400 feet, slowly and majestically went across the sky right above us. And I want you to listen in. There's a few people in our group that ended up seeing orbs do flybys, but I didn't actually catch it on videotape.
Okay, you're centered right now. You're centered.
There's another flyby.
Another one.
Hey, another one.
Another one. I got it.
One.
You're centered right now.
Are you seeing flybys?
You guys, hey, you guys. They're throwing stuff at us, dude. I just saw
like
2
3
of them.
flybys.
I just saw them right now.
Every once in a while, if you look real close at the cluster, you'll see something that doesn't look right. It's almost as if like one of the mimics are mimicking a balloon, but they're hitching a ride. I'll show you one. It's something that looks like this. It's something that's indescribable.
All glued together too. They're like there's no string, nothing.
It just kind of makes me wonder, how do you carry around something like this? There's no tether.
Balloons don't do that unless they super.
What if, I want to see the flybys. This one, Charles Casey ended up helping me capture. This flyby was a little unusual because the 5 foil balloon was the flyby. The orb stayed in one position. You could tell this because the 5 foil balloon was actually crossing the wire. It's going into the tower. Is it doing anything weird?
Oh, flyby.
Flyby?
It looked like a flyby.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
The other thing to notice was that the orb was not in focus, which means that it was not at the same focal length as the 5 foil. So I think it was a little bit farther and probably larger. I know what I'm showing people breaks a lot of mental rules. I know there's going to be a lot of cognitive dissonance happening in people's minds, but please keep in mind that we're only the messenger. We're only sharing with you the facts. What you're watching is not an opinion. When you see a multitude of objects and multiple flybys, it's not a fluke. This is not a 1 in a million happenstance. This is the real deal. And we see these things every time we have a UFO sighting event. I'd like to invite you to our next UFO sighting event. Please join LA UFO channel on meetup.com. We'll let you know when our next UFO sighting event occurs. See you next time.